So the truth is, it's like 3:30 in the morning, 3:17 in the morning. I really should have been asleep. Like, well, I should probably go to sleep in like 15 minutes or so. But the new toys that I was talking about came in. The first was a webcam. So I have a webcam now, and it has a built-in microphone. I have a fan going, which I'm sure is. I have my tablet to the side, and I'm trying to watch things because I just set everything up, and I have no idea how things are working. So there's that. Anyway, I got a webcam. It has a built-in microphone, so for all the like videos and whatnot that I do, well, the reading and stuff, I'll probably use the webcam if it's better quality than just having my phone up. The thing is, my tablet's not actually changing. Like, it's just showing the stream that I did last night, but it should be showing, like, why has it just got that on there? Why doesn't it actually have, like, the actual, it doesn't make any sense. Wait, there we go. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I got a webcam. I got a bunch of other stuff, just like to fix things. Like, I got something for my chair to fix that. I got an extension for my power supply. I got a USB adapter because a USB powered USB adapter to help with my computer. It looks like my stream is flickering. I wonder if that's just here, if that's... Why is it doing that? Let me check something. Okay, so it looks like it's just my tablet that's doing that. Because my computer's not doing it. Well, whatever. I just have it up for chat and to monitor things. So, what did I get? Power USB hub, so I can plug a bunch of stuff into that. I got this thing to tighten the screws on my chair, the webcam. My headphones were messed up, so I got replacement of these, an extension cord, blah blah blah. But anyway, the big two things, aside from all, like, I spent like 6 hours plugging everything in and setting everything up to this. I'm really tired. The big thing though was the webcam, number 2. But the biggest thing was I got a new video card. I had GTX 660, which came in this computer when I bought it. I bought the computer because it has a Core i7 377K, which is still a really good processor. Like, I got it 3 years ago, and when I was looking to get the thing, I was looking to see whether or not I would have to upgrade it, and like Reddit, which I'm a big Redditor, even though I just
put together, operator.
lurk everywhere.
Cut down the and make the Lotus proud.
Reddit was like, well, I didn't ask on Reddit, but I looked, and somebody else had been asking me about that particular video card, and not video card, processor, and they were like, no, it's fine. So I had a GTX 660 GTX. NVIDIA GTX 660. The thing about it is, if I had a normal monitor, it would be perfectly fine, but I don't. I actually have, it's not like the best, but I love my monitor. It's a 27-inch, 2560 by 1440 monitor, which means that it pushes at like twice the resolution. So the GTX 660 wasn't quite enough to fully push it, but it had been fine for a while. Like, because of the resolution, I could just leave it wherever it was, and I forgot what I was doing, but like I said, I probably should have been asleep, so I'm just randomly wandering around now. But I'm running this again. I just upgraded my video card. I got a R9 390X. It's fantastic. Like the other two, the tests when I was testing everything, the settings on my screen and everything were all of this was off. I mean, that was the 2560 by 1440 was pretty much on. Tessellation was off, reflections off, dynamic range, and all this stuff was off. Low, 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 off, off, off. And it's all high now, and it's wonderful and it's great. But the interesting thing is that even what's interesting, like you should be able to see like the flame on the, if anybody's paying attention, you should see the flame on the blade instead of not having a flame. But anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, what's interesting is because of the resolution, like it looks better now. Like I have like dynamic lighting on, so when somebody shoots, you can see the muzzle flash and it lights up everything. Well, before it wasn't on, and it makes a difference. Like the plane, it looks better, but I don't know. I like it. I like the fact that it's a lot more powerful and it can support my monitor's resolution versus having to run everything at low. But what's interesting, at least for Warframe, is that it looks better but not a huge difference. Now this is interesting because I hear everything in my speakers and I don't know how that's going to translate versus the stream. So that's that.
Tenno operative is raiding this ship for supplies. You are there to distract the enemy. Trigger the alarm.
Warframe is my current addiction. Like I always wanted. The interesting thing is I always actually wanted to be a streamer.
All systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Like, not like oh I have
First life support capsule has arrived. Activated when your supply is low. Look for personal life support nodules dropped by fallen enemies.
So you have like people, I don't know how well that balances versus the in-game sounds versus what I'm saying. That's interesting. I should have probably checked that, huh? Attack! I just always wanted to be a streamer. Just to stream. Like not to be like, oh I'm the best at this or I'm the best at whatever. Sometimes you see really cool things when you're doing it and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's like, how did he miss that shot? And sometimes it's just like, wow, that was pretty amazing. I've always wanted to do it. But right now, like but not like to a specific game. Not like, oh, I'm playing Call of Duty forever, or I'm playing, what's that one? But I don't actually play those. I don't play COD and I don't play, Modern Warfare. I think it is Battlefield. I always tend to be an MMO gamer. I play most of them. Couldn't really get into Eve, but I did try it. World of Warcraft, I spent a lot of time in that. City of Heroes, I spent a lot of time in that one. Lord of the Rings Online, I got addicted to the housing in Lord of the Rings Online. Like, I wouldn't play the game very much. I would just, like, run around on a horse exploring neighborhoods because it was relaxing.
Life support capsule.
Anyway, currently my addiction is Warframe. I've got, I don't know, well, the only reason I actually managed to start this is because I bought that video card and I was like, oh hey, I should be able to actually have a computer more powerful enough to actually do this now. And it was surprising when I could actually post a decent video with the last video card I had. Which, like I said, it's not a bad video card, it just, I had to have everything on low. Which was mostly okay. The one thing I really wanted to have on was a dynamic lighting. Like if you watch, like you can see when they shoot, like that. Like you can see that it lights it up, and that's just really cool. So I really wanted to have that on, but my processor's not bad. The processor's still an Ivy grade, and it's still pretty good, but I couldn't really have dynamic lighting on because
prepare for life support.
It would slow everything down. But so Warframe, current edition, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I was actually thinking about the first time I actually had the camera and started talking about being like, oh, so the last time I talked about this, where I obviously didn't, because I didn't have a camera. It's so this is Apollodorus, I believe, or
Another life
Apollo
support
something,
capsule is now
and it's a
available.
survival mission. And there's a bunch of different here because nobody else is here, so I'll get out of here. There's a bunch of different mission types for survival. There's spy and various things like that, and they're all based on what planet you go to. So there's Mercury, which is where Apollodorus was, right? So you have all these different places: capture, sabotage, mobile defense, exterminate, and they all have very different things. Now I am currently I don't know if I had it in here. There it is. 200. Wow. 235 hours in. So that means not at the beginning. So when I play Apollodorus and I like, so like I'm like would have to spend, and why not? Because like I really just want to do this when I'm like playing, because it's all I ever really wanted to do. So I'll probably eventually explain everything as time goes on. There's just puppy. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and what you see for Apollodorus right now is sort of different than it would be at the beginning, because this character, I can show you this real quick. This character is my current main. Her name is Banshee. My last main before her was Naja, who's him. And then before him, I used Mirage, who's her. But she has, if you look up at these right here at the top, I think you can see the mouse. If you look up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 stars means that she's been formatted 5 times. Which I used to play this multi-user dungeon mode called Aardwolf, and the interesting thing about it was, I don't know if you know what a multi-user dungeon is, but the interesting thing about it was, like, you would play and you would get to like the cap, which I think was around 200, but when you got to that cap, you'd actually restart again. But when you started again, so if you did your first one as a ranger, your second one you would do as a mage, but you would keep all your abilities from the ranger as you were your mage, so you would be leveling both classes at the same time. There was no experience hit, it was just you were twice as powerful. And the interesting thing about Aardwolf was that I think there were 7 classes, and when you finished all 7, you would tier, I believe it is, and then what would happen is you would start at level 1 again, but you would start at level 1, but you would have the abilities of level 10, but on 1 class. So basically you go through like all 6 or 7 classes, and then you get to the top, and then you tier, and you'd start over again, and you'd be level 1, but you'd have all the abilities from level 10, say Ranger again, depending on what you picked, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, the stars are formatting. So if you look here at the capacity, most frames, like the Mirage Banshee, all that stuff, have a capacity of 30. What you would need to do then is you would need to put Orkan Reactor, which is called a potato in game. That doubles the mod capacity, as obviously it says right there. But what happens, so yes, she's got a potato runner. That sounds really horrible. But if you see where it's like green up here, and then you see the ones that aren't. So basically, Stretch right now has a cost of 9, so it takes away from the 74 of her mod capacity. And Transient Fortitude has a cost of 7, but the trick is that Transient Fortitude actually has a cost of 14. What happens is you go in and you add a forma, which lets you put the you can't even see me pointing at the screen, but you put the that symbol, that polarization, it really is late, that polarization on there, and it halves it. So obviously if you want to, if you look over here, she's actually fairly far along. Transient Fortitude has 2 more stars to go if you look down at the bottom. Redirection, which is what I really should be working on, has a bunch more, so that's going to be more expensive, but she's got, I mean, she's forward 5 times with a trick, not the trick, but what sort is it? Shouldn't count, because the rejuvenation up here, it's an aura mod, which actually gives you, the reason I have 74 instead of 60 is because Rejuve, if you look up here, the aura mod actually, because it's an aura, gives you 14 instead of cost 14. So that's what I have. But so, like I said, there's a whole lot going on. Energy Siphon is what I originally formatted that slot into because it was something random. And then I realized I didn't want Energy Siphon, I wanted Rejuve. So that was like 2 formas just to get the right aura mod there. And I think one of these over here I actually forma just to get the right slot in. So I think that's basically 3 just to get it to the place where I get to start. And then there was like 2 more. So like I said, and she's level 30, because every time you forma, you start back at level 1 and have to level everything up again. You don't get the cool secondary abilities, but whatever. Yeah, so she's obviously not that. Apollodorus is
Operator, you have remembered well.
how the Tenno arm themselves. Is Mercury, so the lowest planet, and it's like level 1 to 6, so it's basically the entry survival mission. So it's like the lowest difficulty. My bow has a lot of work done to it too, so it actually is strong enough to be able to do that one-shot sting with higher level enemies. I was doing missions on a different planet earlier and was still able to. Hey, Firefox crashed on my tablet, so I can't see anything. Yay. What time is it? 3:30. Anyway, there's a whole lot more going on, and I will probably end up explaining it as time goes on. But it's 3:30, so this was the first test with the microphone and the camera and all of that stuff, and I'm going to get ready to go to bed. But yeah, I work night. I'm in California, and my job has me. I'm off at like 10:30. So 10:30 I'm off, then I have responsibilities, and then I typically game for like 1 to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on how much sleep I'm gonna let myself get. But that's probably, if anybody's actually interested, that's probably when I'll be live streaming, and then I'll obviously let them see on YouTube. But Mondays and Tuesdays are my days off, so if you actually want to catch me during the day, if I keep doing this, then that would be when. Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed now. So, bye.